This one's for anyone who's ever clocked in at a restaurant and thought, there's no way this isn't the job description. They said this job was so simple. Smile, be a team player, and the guest is always right. But somehow, you're a therapist, a janitor, conflict negotiator, babysitter, food runner, trash detective, mop technician, life coach, part-time hostage negotiator, and still expected to upsell dessert with a smile like it's your dream job. And all this before you shotgun your second Red Bull. Welcome to the restaurant industry where the rules are made up, respect is conditional, and the punishment for being good at your job is more job. Here's what no one tells you. The job isn't hard because it's complicated. It's hard because it's stupid, relentless, contradictory, emotionally violent. You work while you're hungry because there's no time to eat. You smile while dead inside because attitude is everything. You get screamed at by guests who don't tip, coworkers who don't show up, and managers who won't back you up. And somehow you're the one who needs an attitude adjustment. And the wildest part, the better you get, the worse it gets. You stay calm in chaos, now you get everyone else's chaos. You work faster, now you get double the work. You take initiative? Congrats, you just inherited 3 jobs, 0 raise, and a mental breakdown no one's ever gonna apologize for. Let's be honest, the people who do the least catch the fewest bullets. Be mediocre and no one bothers you. Be excellent and they bleed you dry. You wanna hear something worse? Most people who burn out don't leave because they're weak, they leave because they were strong for too long in a place that only values warm bodies and not actual people. But don't worry, we're gonna get to that next. Right after we break down how restaurants quietly punish their best employees and why teamwork is often just code for do someone else's job while they vape in the bathroom. Let's be honest, whatever your title is on paper, that's not what you actually do. If you're a server, you're not just taking orders. You're a therapist with a tray, a mind reader for undecided tables, and a verbal punching bag for guests who treat you like their emotional support peasant. If you're a line cook, you're not just making food, you're a chemist under pressure, a surgeon with a spatula, and a military tactician coordinating timing like it's a D-Day, but with less respect and more ticket stabby. If you're a host, you're not just seating tables, you're the human version of Tetris. Guest expectation manager, walking gatekeeper, and somehow the one blamed when the kitchen is backed up to 40 minutes. If you're a bartender, you're not just pouring drinks, you're the unofficial therapist for the heartbroken, the life of the party, and the bouncer for it. The person who makes $2 drinks look like $12 decisions, somehow still expected to be fast, charming, and sober where you're cleaning everyone else's mess up. If you're a manager, you're not just leading, you're corporate's human shield, everyone's last resort, and the person responsible for fixing a system that's broken with a dry erase marker and a motivational quote from HR. They tell you it's just one job, but it's never just one job. It's everyone's job when no one else shows up, cares, or has a clue. And the worst part is, none of it's in your job description. It's not even in the fine print. No one trained you to talk someone down from quitting mid-shift. No one showed you how to handle the guy at table 14 who won't stop hitting on the staff. No one explained what to do when the dishwasher floods mid-rush and you've got 3 clean forks left and 90 more guests on the way. But you figured it out, not because you were prepared, because you had to. You learn more about people in this job than any psych major ever will. You can spot a problem shift before it starts just by who didn't post in the group chat. You know when someone's about to crash emotionally because they're too cheerful during setup. You know how to de-escalate a meltdown using nothing but sarcasm and a roll of silverware. You know which coworker is in a bad mood just by how they're buttering bread. You can tell the night's gonna suck by the sound of the ice machine. You've seen guests, coworkers, and yourself unravel in real time. You've seen guests, coworkers, and yourself unravel in real time. And you poured another round anyway. This isn't just a job. It's a live action role play for underpaid legends. And yet, you pretend you're fine. You pretend it's normal. You pretend that one more thing won't be the thing that breaks you. Why? Because that's what we do here. We adapt, we absorb, we survive, even when we probably shouldn't have to. And here's a contradiction no one wants to admit. The better you get at your job, the worse your job gets. You take on more, you fix more, you carry more weight for the same pay, same title, and 0 recognition. You're the glue, and they forgot you're even holding things together until you stop. So yeah, you're not just a host. Not just a server, not just anything. You're the only reason this whole damn place hasn't caught fire yet, and the fire's still coming. But that's not even the scary part. The scary part's this. Most people don't quit because it's hard. They quit because they finally realize what it's costing them. And that's what we're gonna talk about next. Why burnout doesn't feel like fire. It feels like nothing. Burnout isn't from working too hard. It's from working too much for people who don't get it and never will. You're not tired because you worked a double. You're tired because you've been gaslit into thinking it's normal to be treated like a human vending machine that dispenses efforts, smile, and silence. You're not just physically drained, you're emotionally bankrupt because every time you give your best, someone finds a new way to say, actually, could you do more, but different and faster and well-looking happier? That's the cycle. You care, you try, you get ignored, you still show up, you get blamed. You fix it anyway, and the reward, another shift, same chaos, no thanks. Let's be real. This job doesn't burn you out because it's hard. It burns you out because it's thankless. You clock in already behind. You clock out feeling like your soul got slow roasted on the flat top, and in between, you're expected to be unbothered by last-minute callouts, unaffected by screaming guests, unshaken by your coworkers crying over the expo line for the third time this week, and unfazed by the fact that your entire identity has slowly been replaced with the phrase, "Yeah, I'll take care of it." And no one thanks you. They say, "Can you stay a little longer? Can you cover for them? You're so good at handling the rush. You're a rock star." Rock stars don't get paid $13 an hour and tipped in compliments, Karen. This isn't hustle. This is hospice care for a broken system, and you're the one keeping the patient alive. You're not just burnt out, you're exhausted from being the only one who gives a shit. And here's the most messed up part. You start wondering if the burnout is your fault. Like maybe you're just not tough enough, not passionate enough, not strong enough, but here's the truth no one tells you. It's not your fault you're burnt out. It's your fault you stayed this long trying to fix something that refuses to change. Let that sink in for a moment, because here's what no one else says out loud. Most of us don't stay because we love it. We stay because we feel guilty walking away. Guilty for leaving the team short. Guilty for abandoning the guests. Guilty for letting the chaos fall on someone else's shoulder, even when it's been crushing ours for months. But here's the real kicker. What if the reason you feel so guilty leaving is because you're the only one holding it together? Not management, not policies, you. Which makes you wonder, if you're the glue, what happens when you're gone? That's the question, that's the fear, that's exactly what we're going to rip wide open next. Because it turns out, what actually makes or breaks a restaurant has nothing to do with the food. If this video made you laugh, cry, or reevaluate your life choices, hit like. If you've ever stayed on the floor after someone no-showed, subscribe. Because clearly you make bad decisions, and honestly, I respect that. And do me a favor, send this to someone else in the trenches. A server, a cook, a bartender, your favorite emotional support host, someone who's been running on spite and shift meal calories for way too long. And especially send it to that one restaurant friend. You know the one. They're this close to walking out mid-shift, but they stayed because they didn't want to screw over the team? Yeah, send it to that legend. Let's normalize not pretending this job is fine, when it's clearly on fire and held together with duct tape, sarcasm, and people like you. But here's the part that will mess with your head. You don't just feel guilty for wanting to leave. You feel guilty for being the only one keeping it together. Because deep down, you know if you stop showing up, if you stop covering shifts, if you stop cleaning up everyone else's messes while pretending you're not dying inside, this whole place would fall apart faster than table of 12 ordering separate checks. And that's the trap. That's the hook in your back. They don't need to chain you to the job. They need you to care more than the people in charge. Because if you're the one holding the line, maybe it's not the restaurant at all. Maybe it's just you, duct taping a dumpster fire with emotional labor and hope. So if the food isn't what's holding it together, if the systems aren't what's saving it, if the managers are barely hanging on too, then what's actually keeping the restaurant from collapse? This is the uncomfortable truth. What actually makes or breaks a restaurant, it's not the food, it's not the music, it's not the edgy branding, the Edison bulbs, or the espresso machine that costs more than your car and still leaks. It's you. It's us. It's the wildly underpaid, over-caffeinated, emotionally unavailable misfits who make the chaos look rehearsed. Restaurants don't run on policy. They run on pure willpower and one collective mental breakdown held off by iced coffee and group chats that say, "He's on the schedule again." It's the host who knows how to seat a screaming family of 6 without flinching. The line cook who just took 6 tickets 5 minutes before close, all in 30 seconds, and didn't burn the building down. The bartender making a round of 12 espresso martinis during a breakup and pretending it's not weird. The server who remembered table 21's allergy even though table 42 said their well-done steak was too dry. Ma'am, you asked us to commit meat murder. That's the consequence. The manager who just got cussed out by a guest, consoled a crying dishwasher, ran a food order, then gave a pre-shift speech like it wasn't just another Tuesday kids eat free. None of that's in the handbook. None of that's culture, branding, that's survival, that's you. You're what makes it work. And the second you stop pretending everything's fine, it's not. So yeah, burnout is real. But it's not a personal failure. It's proof that you were keeping this place together with duct tape, dry humor, and whatever was left of your sanity. And no one noticed because you made it look easy. So if you're still here, still standing, still making it through shifts on 3 hours of sleep, sarcasm, and black coffee with zero hope in it, you're not alone. You're not broken. You're just stuck in a system that thrives on your silence, your guilt, and your ability to fake okay when everything else around you is on fire. But now you see it, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So here's your permission. Stop pretending it's fine. Stop carrying the whole shift on your back. Start building something you don't want to walk out of every other Tuesday. Next episode, let's just say we're going to talk about how to clean up the mess you didn't make without losing your mind, your temper, or your job in the process. Could be about training, could be about toxic coworkers, could be just a how-to guide for saying no without adding LOL, Just kidding at the end. We'll see where the fire is hottest. In the meantime, if this hit home, smash that like button like it's a walk-in door after a customer says, I know the kitchen's closed, but drop a comment, share it with your shift fam. And if you want to show a little love or see the tools I actually use, check out my Kitco page in the link down below. And if no one's told you today, you're doing great. Not because it's perfect, because you're still here when most people would have quit. Now go hydrate, take a deep breath, and remind yourself you're the reason this job hasn't imploded yet.